Hey Saints, welcome back to SFHS Today. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Brianna. This month we are celebrating many different things such as Military Child Month and Autism Awareness Month.
I went out and talked to our school nurse to learn a little bit more about autism.
So I'm Holly Coy, I'm the school nurse here at the high school, and autism spectrum disorders is a spectrum of disorders that affect children and adults. The characteristics of a person who's been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder can range from very mild symptoms to more severe symptoms, and they affect communication and social interaction, and there's sometimes, usually there's some type of repetitive like movements or restricted interests, we call them, so there's a very clear interest that they are very interested in. And it does have a huge impact on families and communities, not in a bad way. People with that have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders are wonderful people that can continue to contribute to society, and it can be hard on families though initially when they're diagnosed with autism. Thank you.
Wow, I didn't know that. Thanks, Jessica, for that info. Also, this month we have some fast approaching deadlines. Prom tickets are due today for a normal price. All tickets bought after today are $70.
Also, don't forget to register for the senior all-night party. Order forms for regular price are due April 30th. Original price is $90 and the price goes up after that.
Speaking of seniors, there will be a senior meeting in the PAC during Saints time on April 28th. Also in PAC events, the spring musical All Shook Up is performing at the end of the month. Tickets are on sale now at seatyourself.biz/stfrancishs.
Hey Bree, where did you park this morning?
A parking spot.
Well, I've noticed a lot of people have yet to get their parking pass and will soon be fined for illegally parking in a permanent parking lot.
On a lighter note, the students and staff at Crossroads have been working on a beautiful garden. She went out to get the story.
So the Crossroads Victory Garden was established last summer as a way to have teach science using, first of all, it was a way to teach science using the greenhouse. And then we contacted the Anoka County Master Gardeners and we came up with the idea to do a garden outside in order to raise the produce that was started in the greenhouses. So the students are involved in learning the science of plants. We teach ways for students to be able to garden anywhere. They can raise a garden in the middle of the city, whether they have soil or not, or a space to raise a garden, where they can use the straw bales that you saw out in the garden. The community has been extremely supportive of the Victory Garden. We did a fundraising campaign last fall, and the community came up with $2,200 basically to support the garden. And we want to get the community very involved in being part of the garden, whether it, perhaps working, doing a little watering or harvesting, and possibly in exchange for some produce from the garden.
Thanks, G. We're almost done for this week, but stay tuned for 5 Minutes of Fame, where we learn more about BMX.
Also, stay tuned for weather and sports.
Have an A-OK weekend, Saints.
Student celebrities everywhere. This is why you should care about 5 Minutes of Fame.
BMX racing is racing on bikes over obstacles, like triples, doubles, and stuff like that. I've been involved in BMX since I was 13, and it's pretty fun. I am on a team called Kid Dynamite Minnesota, pretty lit team. Teams are more for like the state series, which happens throughout the summer. It's pretty fun. We have races every weekend, so it's pretty fun racing every weekend. I got my concussion because before the first obstacle, my chain came off and it locked up my back tire and my crank arm, so I flew and rolled over my bars pretty good. Hit my head. It was rough.
Saints, welcome to sports. I'm Misty.
And I'm Brittany. Even though this isn't a sports thing, a competitive food drive took place over the last week at the high school.
In third place was Kelly Lipinski's Saints Time with an average of 4.5 items per student. In second place was Lydia Scheiber's Saints Time with an average of 10.92 items per student. And in first place was Scott Schmidt's Saints Time with an average of 13.65 items per student.
On Tuesday night, softball started their season off with a win against Cambridge Isani, beating them 16-3. They had another home game last night against Princeton.
Baseball played Cambridge Isani on Tuesday as well and also won 7-3. Last night they also played against Princeton and both scores can be found online.
And tonight, both softball and baseball play games at North Branch High School.
Track had their lock-in last week. They had pizza, lots of games, activities, and spent their night in the wrestling room.
Track also had their first meet on Tuesday at SDMA, and they overall did good. They had one jumper that stood out though. Sophomore Eli Hyland broke the 34-year-old high school record jump, bringing us the Athlete of the Week.
Yesterday we had our first indoor meet at St. Michael Albertville High School, and the highlight of the night was Eli Hyland. He did break a school record, jumping 6 feet 5 1/4 inches. The record he broke was set in 1983, so it's a 34-year-old record, and it was exciting. When he cleared the jump, the entire gymnasium exploded and people were screaming, and we're just very proud of his accomplishments. Last year, Eli was the only freshman to qualify for the state meet for high jump specifically. So to see him, conquer his goals and achieve things that he's never achieved before this early in the season is a really good sign. And we're excited to see what is in store for him the rest of the year.
I didn't have anything in mind. I just went out there and jumped. I was really happy when I beat it because I had it in mind at the beginning of the season.
He's a really good contributor to the team because at his grade and age, he brings a lot of positivities, and he's a good role model for a lot of kids that are younger than him. He's a really hard worker on and out the field, and like I said, he contributes to a lot with his athleticism. And last year he went to state. He did pretty good, and this year definitely is going to exceed in a lot of stuff, and he deserves what he did.
They will have another meet tonight at Irondale High School.
Boys tennis will have their first match against Cambridge Isani next Tuesday, and that brings us to our Rookie of the Week, Isaiah McColley, an 8th grader on varsity tennis.
Is this your first year on the tennis team?
No, I played JV last year.
What made you want to play tennis?
I played in a summer camp back in elementary school, and I don't really know what made me decide to sign up for that.
What's the hardest part about tennis?
Probably not making dumb mistakes, like hitting it into the net and out of bounds.
Wow, he's been doing really well so far. He's been doing really good on his ground strokes and everything, getting everything in. It's really nice.
How do you think your first game will go?
I'm definitely not probably gonna win because this is my first year on varsity, and varsity is a lot better than JV last year. But hoping I'll be able to get at least a few points in.
Do you expect a lot from him this year?
Yeah, I expect a lot out of him. I expect a lot about everyone, just to always try their best and keep getting better throughout the season.
What school you play next?
Cambridge.
And that's all we have in sports for you this week.
Have a great weekend, Saints.